Michael Thomas, wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints. He is officially off the PUP list and ready to go for the New Orleans Saints, and his quarterback is very excited.
We are ultimate competitors, right? He's a perfectionist. And that helps my game because I can put my trust in him and he can put his trust in me because we know that we all in, right? I know he's one of the greatest receivers to play this game as of this date, and he's missed 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, the facts don't lie, right? So I know what he's capable of. Now, we both just got to get healthy and work together, right? We got to build that rapport, and that's going to happen with this experience, with him being able to be out there and do as much as he did, and me being able to just see him and work with him.
Other than Jameis looking like absolute predator right there in that interview, he's hyped to have his boy Michael Thomas. Yeah, he's hyped to have his boy Michael Thomas. Now, there's only one person we can go to on this panel to start the show talking about Michael Thomas, and it's you, Aaron. You have been the most negative about Michael Thomas this offseason. What are your thoughts on him coming off the PUP list and being ready for training camp?
Who?
Unbelievable.
Oh, I mean, we ain't seen the guy play football in forever. So, of course, I'm not excited about coming off the PUP list. I told you yesterday, which is why we scratched the PUP list segment of the show. The PUP list means absolutely nothing on day one of training camp.
But Michael Thomas coming back means something.
No, it doesn't. He did this before. And then what happened? He had another setback. We've seen this before. Until Michael Thomas steps on a football field and plays in a game, I don't want to hear about how good he looks on an Instagram video, what he's going to bring to the table, how emotional it is for him to come back and play in 2020. Why doesn't he give some of the money that he took 2 years ago back? Let's start there. Give some money back to the Saints so they're not over the cap and they can actually sign some players because you robbed them. You took 2 years of their contract and you ain't played since. I am not trying to get on Michael Thomas and say he's not a talent. We know this. Jameis said it best. I'm not arguing that. He is a talented receiver. 1,700 yards, 1,400 yards, 1,200 yards. He was all pro. Like, he did his thing. But it's been 2 years since we've seen him on a football field. So I'm sorry if that I'm a little bit skeptical and the Saints fans don't like it. Yes, the last time we see Michael Thomas, he was okay. He wasn't great. He was okay the last time we seen him. So I'm going to leave it. Yes, you can give me that look. The last time we seen Michael Thomas, he had 438 yards on 40 catches in 7 games. He was okay.
He got injured. Got it.
Hey, so real quick,
7 games he played, he was okay.
No, you're good. You're fine. I was thinking the last time I really thought about seeing him was when he broke the record for reception. So
if you want to bring that up, that was 3 years ago. So that, again, he hasn't played football for a full season, almost 1,000 days. If this is anybody else we talk about,
and they're hype on him.
What about
not you? They are hype on him.
But again, I would say the same thing. But we also talk about 30-year-old receiver. He's had mileage on his body. It's a different time, a different position. It's not the same as a Trey Lance who hasn't played in whatever years or anything like that. I'm not saying he can't be good. I'm saying that can he just prove it before we just start saying he's going to be back to what he was in 2018 and 2019? I just want to see him do it. That's all.
That's what I needed to hear from you. I needed to hear that last part because I was going to come in and come at you and say, where's that same energy when we talk about Deshaun Watson, who's missed a year of football? But the age, you brought up the age, which is a very good point about Deshaun Watson.
The position is so different, guys.
And that too, you made up some very good points, but I've come to the conclusion now that we kind of like, I pegged AJ as a Commanders fan now because Carson Wentz, and Dylan has all of the teams that he loves. And Aaron, you now have the exact opposite. You hate the New Orleans Saints because not only do you hate Michael Thomas, but you also hate Chris Olave. So this is what's going down.
No. He hates two receivers. He loves their football
We're not going to
team.
stop. We never stop when I tell you
stop. But the difference is, I have preached about the Saints being a contender. Yes, I have preached. Talking about an individual player, yes, it does.
Change anything? No, it doesn't.
It absolutely does. It absolutely does.
All those years, people hated Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. They were allowed to hate him. It didn't change the fact that they were going to be contenders every year. Okay,
Aaron's not saying they're not. He's saying they are.
I'm saying that they are. I like the Saints. I love Jameis. I love that defense. I love the Saints. I hate Chris Olave, and Michael Thomas has to prove it.
It's your new.
You don't like Ohio State.
Like I said,
that might be true.
like I said with what we did with AJ and what we've done with Dylan, you are not going to be saved from this. Your new most hated team will be
Aaron,
the
doesn't
New
it
Orleans
suck?
Saints.
I'm a Colts fan,
It
apparently.
does. It does. It's going to end up happening.
Why isn't my most hated team the Washington Commanders in? Because I hate Carson Wentz more than any football player on this planet.
Came on the show.
It's just more fun. It's just more fun to. It's just more fun to say you hate
Carson Wentz people on the panel. That's just boring.
We can.
I mean,
I'm a hater of players.
There's over 1,800 players in the NFL. We're gonna get 4 of us on one.
To be fair, who has the strongest opinions in a negative light about players on this show? It's me.
Easily.
Mac Jones, Chris Olave. Like I am not afraid to say I do not believe in this player. So you could argue that maybe 30 teams out of the 32 I hate.
But at the same time,
loves everybody.
It doesn't mean I'm not afraid to say this guy can come back.
AJ loves everybody.
AJ,
I want to believe in people.
AJ, what do you think about Michael Thomas coming back? What are your thoughts? Other than we gotten Aaron's take from it. What do you think about Michael Thomas returning?
I'm basically in between where we sit. I'm not as negative as him, but yeah, I absolutely believe he needs to prove it, but I think he will. I think to an extent. I don't expect him to have 150 receptions. I don't expect him to have 1,400 yards. I expect him to come in and be the guy that Jameis is looking to in clutch time. I expect him to come in and put up a very respectable season. If he can stay healthy, I believe as the weeks go forward, he will prove that he has been one of the best receivers in the league and can once again be considered one of the top receivers in the league. Will he ever be top 3 again? I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to jump that fast either. I think he has to come out. It's good to watch him work out. It's good to see him get out there with the team and start getting that chemistry together. But absolutely, until he can get on the field, put on pads, take high contact, take low contact, and show that he can withstand it, yeah, we need to be slightly cautious. But a guy who's been that talented before and a guy that the Saints, despite being angry with, have not given up on, that's kind of says something to me that they believe that he can be a very serviceable part of their team going forward. So I'm excited to see him come back. I'm hoping he proves it, mostly because I still got 1 year left of him on my fantasy team and, and because I want to see him do well. So I'm in between. Prove it, but I believe he will.
I'm all aboard Michael Thomas.
What about in fantasy, Dylan? Are you all aboard Michael Thomas?
Yeah, I do. I think this year Michael Thomas will have 83 catches, 1,300 yards, and 7 touchdowns. I think he comes back with a vengeance this year. I do. I truly believe in Michael Thomas. I know he's missed a lot of time. I know all that stuff that he's got going on with the issues with his foot or anything, the shit that he does. He misses. He's weak. I don't care. Look, I've seen this guy produce. And I've seen Jameis Winston have 1,000-yard receiver and Mike Evans every single year that he was down there, right? I trust Michael Thomas. I might be the only one that does here. And you can say no. You can say you're wishy-washy. I'm not afraid to take a stance and say I love this guy and he's going to produce this year.
That is not even what I want to point out. It's the numbers you threw out. I think you just said those numbers without thinking.
I thought about it the whole time. YouTube
83 catches and 1,300 yards is something Michael Thomas has never done. You know why? Because it's not Michael Thomas's game. He is not Mike Evans. He is not going to catch 80-yard touchdown passes from Jameis Winston. He is a guy that goes. He is a high volume, low yardage guy. Look at his numbers. In order for him to have 1,400 yards in 2018, he had 125 catches. In order for him to have 1,700 yards, he had
his freaking arm was
Michael Thomas is not that receiver. We had this
Jameis
argument.
Winston is not Drew Brees.
You're not listening. Does Michael Thomas run go routes? No. Michael Thomas is the guy. He gets on the scene. He runs those deep ends. He runs slants. He is a high volume, low yardage guy. That's his game. He's not having 83 catches for 1,300 yards. If he has 83 catches, he's going to be at about 900 to 1,000 yards.
I just wish.
10 yard per carry guy or 10 yard per catch guy.
So does that equate to you? Do your math, Dylan.
God damn it. I'm on board with what Dylan is saying and believing in Michael Thomas here. I am on the side of being more hopeful on Michael Thomas and taking my shot on him in fantasy, but then he dropped that stat out there and I'm like, no.
That's my point. I'm okay if you want to believe in Michael Thomas. I want people to stop saying, well, he was just the best receiver 2 years ago. 3 years ago, 3 years is a long time in the NFL. So we have to see it. That's all I'm saying.
I see a similar campaign to this. I see a similar season this year to something that he had in his rookie year. He was 92 catches, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. I maybe see a little bit less this season, just because maybe the injury and something, and obviously you can't not factor in Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave, and don't forget Alvin Kamara when he's going to be on the field. So there's going to be a lot of this is not just like the normal New Orleans Saints team that Michael Thomas was a part of before, where it was really just him. Not to disrespect any of the other pass catchers that the Saints have had before, but no one was on Jarvis Landry's level. Chris Olave is a very talented, potentially great wide receiver, first round pick, highly invested, and then Alvin Kamara in the backfield is a game changer as well. So Michael Thomas, I don't think is going to see that workload that he's had in the past, but he's still going to be a factor in my opinion. Right now, he's going as the wide receiver 32.
Oh, we're in fantasy again?
Yeah.
I have two questions for you guys, and these are legit questions. And it could be quick. It doesn't have to be long. Each of you guys, does Michael Thomas play over under 14 games for Michael Thomas this year?
Wow.
Under.
Right around 12.
I would say under.
Yeah, I would say under. Bro, I was thinking about 12. You went 14, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna say he plays 13
really
games, so under.
Similar.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Similar to what I said earlier about comparing it to his rookie season, Michael Thomas started 12 games in 2016 in his rookie year. So it all connects here. I see less than 14 games and still that stat line.
You know what? I'm actually going to switch to an over. I think he's got 15 in him. He must too.
And AJ, I wanted to address your point really quick about that the Saints believe in him. I don't know that they do. And I think the Saints are bitter by what he did by putting off the surgery. And the problem they couldn't get rid of him is because his contract says they couldn't. He was making way too much money, $32 million in dead cap hit last year in order to get rid of him. 38 this year to drop him. After this year, they have a potential out. So it would not shock me with the drafting of Chris Olave if there is a restructure of Michael Thomas's contract after this year, or they look to trade or cut him. And that
wouldn't shock me either.
Despite if whatever he does, even if he has a good year.
Yeah. That wouldn't shock me either, but I think that whole bitterness thing was, of course, the front office feels it, but I think that was more of a Sean Payton thing, though. And I think he comes back and shows to be who's not there anymore, despite how they love Sean Payton, he's not there anymore. So if he can come back and show that he's a team player, yes, I agree. They'll probably reconstruct him. They'll probably let him go. But if he can come back, be a team player, show he wants to be there, and then who knows? I doubt he'll take a cut. But if ain't nobody, I don't think anyone else is going to be knocking down the door for him unless he does blow up the way Dylan thinks he's going to blow up. So.
Are you paying him $25 million next year?
Somebody would.
Think about the top receiver at 31, almost 31 years old. Think about the top receivers in the league making that kind of money.
We're talking.
Are you paying him $25 million?
If you tell me that somebody's going to do a 2-year, 3-year deal and then be able to structure it where at the end that he can be gone, I wouldn't be. Somebody's dumb enough is basically what I'm saying.
Nobody's.
If he comes out and plays the way Dylan talks about it, somebody will jump.
We're having a hard time right now paying Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, guys that are. We're having a hard time paying those guys $21, $22 million. You're going 25. That's just too much. Fair. But let me ask this one last question. Let me ask one last question here, and then we're ending the Michael Thomas talk. They obviously drafted Chris Olave, invested a lot in him with that first round pick, then brought in Jarvis Landry. Do you guys see anything about maybe like them almost having like a pitch count for Michael Thomas? I mean, we're seeing these teams wean their players back off of injury and kind of give them time off and rest and recovery and ease them into it. The Saints have that ability with Jarvis Landry and Chris Olave getting used to this offense. Do you think that maybe Michael Thomas comes in here and has less of a role early on because they're trying to get him back into real game shape because he hasn't been himself in 2 years?
Early, yes. Early, absolutely. Early in the season, you'll see him use, I don't want to say sparingly, you'll see him used differently than when he's on the field, 90% of the snaps as he was, a few years ago. I don't think if he stays healthy, I don't think as the season goes on, that stays though. I think if he's comfortable and he's healthy, he'll be in the lineup just because he is that talented.
Okay.
And then you can dispose all those weapons in so many different ways. Like if you have the weapons available, why hold yourself back? Deploy them.